What's going on, guys? It's me and JTB. Call me Nick. That's right, we're back. And we'll play. Oh, and we'll play some more DLC. Plus, we got some new mail. Paula Minor Ethics. Okay, December 4th, 2019. Okay, so this all takes place like back then. Alright, simply put, it's not our job to arbitrarily decide upon some code of the ethics just because we're on the first ones to do this to our knowledge. That's the government's job to figure out, long after we've made enough headway for it to no longer apply to us. Excuse me. It's fundamentally flawed to apply ethical reasoning to this anyway, because humanity's code of ethics is based upon nothing more than our knowledge and understanding of life forms similar to ourselves. We don't have ethics for killing bacteria or plants, only the creatures that we can convincingly project our emotions onto. The humans in our VMs operate completely different from us on a fundamental level, and therefore should not be taken any more seriously than a machine that's programmed to print "I feel sad." We're engineers, not philosophers. Oh, there you go. That's still the Monica theory, or what's going on with Monica. Okay, now we've only got 2 side stories left because we're breezing through these. So we've only got 2 left, and today we're going to be doing reflection. So let's go with Yuri and Monica. Alright. Here we go, everyone. Am I bothering you? No. Okay, just checking. It's hard to tell since you always look so into it when you're reading. It makes me scared to interrupt. Well, it's within my expectations to be interrupted when I read here. It's mainly when I'm by myself that I don't like it. That makes sense. I guess if you're here in the first place, then you're more than ready to socialize, even if it takes a little bit of prodding. It's not so bad to be social if I let others do the work, so it can be healthy to put myself in a social environment every now and then. It's most difficult when I don't know anyone, or there are too many people, or everyone's being silly for me to keep up with. Yuri glances across the room at Sayori and Natsuki. Sayori has her head cocked back and her mouth open, trying to catch pieces of a cookie that Natsuki is lobbing into the air, but the pieces keep bouncing off her face and hitting the floor. Maybe I should say something. No need, they just ran out of cookie. What a waste. They've really become good friends, haven't they? I'm happy. Sayori seems particularly good at making that happen. But the 2 of them are both the energetic side, so I suppose it works out well. Yeah, come to think of it, you and I haven't had many chances to talk one-on-one, have we? Though that may be... What happened to the music then? Did you guys hear that? Though that may be partially my fault, since I'm supposed to be the one engaging club members. Not at all. I've probably formed a habit of drawing minimal attention to myself. The responsibility is equally on me. At least there's at this place some openness to engage. Well, what about during lunch times like lunch? Do you meet up with friends? I just read. Oh, well, I like it that way. It feels nice to be carried off again after a morning of classes. Do you always read fantasy? Oh, not always. I suppose it's all I've been reading recently. It's all I've read recently, but only because I'm in the middle of this series. There are still 2 more books after this one. I guess those long books suit you well, since you spend so much time reading. Well, fantasy may be my favourite, but after that I'm more or less indiscriminate to genres. I read anything with depth and maturity. Oh yeah? Even like romance? Well, there are a lot of books that have elements of romance in them. Oh, come on, Yuri, you know what I mean. Monica lowers her voice. It's a guilty pleasure of mine, so I won't tell anyone if you do too. And I won't tell anyone if you do a few things with me, Monica. I won't, I promise. Maybe more than when I was in middle school. I mean, I was really lonely, and people were mean to me a lot. So I just kind of felt like, please don't make me think about the past. Sorry, I got super curious. I got super curious what's under that skirt. You know, we should totally pick out a romance novel to read. That would be so much fun. You know, if there was a piece of art with Monica in that position that I could set for the DDLC wallpaper, I would. You know, we should totally pick out... Oh, yeah, we do that. Absolutely not. Really? Even if it was just between us? Try asking someone who has no shame, like Natsuki. Ouch. swear I didn't mean that. Well, I guess it was my fault for pressuring you. I feel like for things in my past, too, you know, feelings I feel too embarrassed to re-experience. There's nothing wrong with growing out of things. It happens to everyone. For instance, Natsuki's interest in manga reminds me quite a bit of how intense I used to be about my own interests. Makes me think that she would likely grow out of it too. Hey, were you talking about me? No, we were talking about how our interests have changed over the years. When did you get into manga, Natsuki? Like a couple of years ago, I guess. I was already sort of into it before that, but I really wasn't going hard until then. Oh yeah, that inspired you to get more into it? I don't know. I guess, let me think. It was after I discovered a series that I really liked. Yeah, it was like really fed up with a lot of things, and I got super into this one series that I really related to. I guess I had an edgy phase where I hated everyone around me and wanted to be by myself, haha. Hey, kind of like Yuri. From Monica. Sorry. That's completely wrong, so... It's still cool that you both really found your thing. They're almost like opposites, but it sounds like they helped you a lot through hard times. You know it. Wow, what the heck? Is that book even bigger than the last one you were reading? It's technically slightly longer. How high do you think it would go if you stacked up the whole series? Natsuki estimates by holding her hand high above her head, sizing up an imaginary stack. I should get one of those mangas that's like 50 volumes long so I can say I've read more than you, ha! Not that I have the money for that. Please, that would hardly count when your books only have a few words per page. I know, I was just joking. I could never actually read books like yours. It's too boring for me. Yuri shoots a glare at Natsuki. It's not boring. Oh. Chill, I said it for me, not you. I can have my own opinion, I just think it's too convoluted. Sari, are those from the floor? What? Gross. What is it? Also, wash your hands before touching any of my books. But my hands aren't dirty. Jeez, look at all of them piled up like that, all four, in one frame. Very good. Just do it, the oils are there even if you can't see them. Fine. So Richard's at the door and Natsuki follows. Oh, I think it was the, crumbs or cooking things. Yuri, you look a little upset. What kind of nerve does she have to call my hobby boring? Not again. Well, she did correct herself. Hardly, she was so condescending. I don't mind if she thinks it's not for her. I already understand that it's not for everyone. But she knows well how much these mean to me. So how about just leaving me alone instead of needlessly telling me things you hate about it? I'm sorry, Yuri. You may be right. This won't be the last time people have strong feelings about what they like and don't like. Especially in a literature club, so I should figure out how to mediate discussions to keep them positive and constructive. For the record, I've always been impressed by the level of creativity in your books, and also your ability to get through them so quickly. Thank you. Okay, well this is something that I'll have to think about and revisit. I'm sure I can help Natsuki find some common ground with you. Common ground isn't necessary. Excuse me. I just wish to be respected. That then, either way I'll do my best. I'm skeptical when it comes to Natsuki. I trust you, Monica, but I'm skeptical. There's no way that's it already. I was gonna say. Okay everyone, we have a special club meeting today. As you know, the Literature Club is a place where we get to share things that we're really passionate about. We've got some new music as well. But that also means we should be mindful of how we respond to each other's feelings. I think we have a chance to turn our differences into positive energy for each other. Are you going a little bit dramatic about this? Yes. This is important to me. Well, sorry, I just feel like I'm being accused or something. No, I'm not accusing anyone or anything. I'm sorry if it came off that way. Our conversation yesterday made me reflect on the power of language, and I thought it would be a good topic for the Literature Club, don't you think? I'm sure we're going to have differences in opinion a lot, so I need to make sure we're prepared to have a positive atmosphere in the club. If you say so. Sure. The cool thing about the language is that it gives us a lot of different ways to express the same idea or emotion. We have a lot of control over how we want the other person to feel when we're receiving our thought. This goes for poetry, narratives, casual conversation, basically anything. For example, Sari, what's your favourite food? I have them organised by category. Should I start with snacks or do you mean full meals? Should I include breakfast? No, you're overthinking. Oh jeez. Okay, how about your favourite fruit? That's easy, cherries. Really? I always thought cherries tasted nasty. taste nasty. I'm using objective language. I'm challenging Sary's reality that cherries are delicious with my own, which is that cherries are nasty. Wait, hold on. How is that objective when you just said it was your own opinion? It has to do with the way our brains interpret the words. You're talking about the reality of the cherries. Not your feelings about them. Like Sayori. Let's rewind for a second. Pretend I didn't tell you that I think cherries are nasty. Good. So what if instead I said like, I tried cherries and they're not for me. It's not the kind of flavour I enjoy. Well, that's fine. As long as you don't call them nasty. Nasty is a nasty word. Okay, so cherries are kind of a weird example. This time around, instead of talking about the cherries, I just talked about my feelings, and Sayori didn't get defensive. So instead of clashing with each other, it's like we received an invitation to talk about our differences. Yuri, you don't need to take notes. I'm gonna quit. I'm not gonna quiz you or anything. Oh, I know that. I was just... Sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. You can do whatever you'd like. But does anyone have any thoughts so far? I just feel like I shouldn't have to put all my language through a filter just to protect someone's feelings. But you don't have to. The choice is yours on how you want to become across to other people. I'm only suggesting it as a tool to help your differences into a positive experience rather than an argument. Right, Sayori? Whatever you say, cherry hater. Oh, come on. Sayori, I actually like cherries. I was just saying that to help demonstrate. What the heck? I've been duped. Sorry, Sayori. I'll make it up to you later. How about a cherry sundae? You're welcome to dupe me anytime, my beloved president. Buying the people's loyalty. How deplorable. Oh, like you would turn down a free sundae, Yuri. You were certainly a fan of those cupcakes I brought in the other week. I was reading and not keeping track of them. Oh, that's enough. We're getting off topic. So, now that we have the gist of it, how about we try something with more relevant to the club? Like manga, right? Let's try to have a productive discussion about our differences in opinion. Yuri, do you want to start? Well, I'd rather not. No. Oh, how come? Well, because I don't see how anything productive can come from that. It's just going to start a fight. No, it'll be fine. I'm here to moderate. That's why I'm here to moderate. Let's have a calm and rational discussion. Yeah, give me a little more credit. I'm not a child, you don't have to coddle my feelings. But I always think it's more respectable to just speak your mind. Respectable? Yuri's expression changes at that word. As Monica recalls, being respected was the crux of the matter for Yuri. Well, the point of the exercise isn't exactly like, it's fine. I have nothing against anyone personally. You're entitled to enjoy whatever it is you like. I just prefer more depth and nuance in my reading material. I look for stories that are imaginative and sophisticated beyond the surface level. Oh, well, that's just a misunderstanding then. I thought you were going to say that manga's for children or something. I don't like hearing it enough of that. But there's plenty of deep manga. I'm not clueless about manga. I've read my own fair share when I was younger. What, are you serious? How come you've never told me? Because I'm past that point in my life, and I really prefer not to revisit it. Sort of. I prefer more mature things now. Excuse me? Okay, hold on, can I jump in here? Let's try to keep things subjective. Because if you imply that manga is immature, then aren't you implying that someone is immature for being into it? Well, maybe it's immature to judge people for having different tastes than you. Hey! Natsuki. Nobody's immature. I've read Natsuki's manga and Yuri's fantasy, and I love them both in their own way. Okay. It's great that you like it, but I still find it boring. Boring isn't subjective. Look, man, some of these girls, they really overreact too much. Okay, it bores me, that's subjective. But, I mean, the thing about... This is ridiculous. Do you see why I didn't want to participate in this? I knew it was just going to make people upset. I'm not upset. Like I said, I don't care what other people think. But I always get the impression that you secretly look down upon me, so I'm glad my suspicions were confirmed. It's not true at all, you're making assumptions. You can't blame me for getting defensive when nobody ever has the least bit of respect for things I'm into. The only thing I look down upon is when people make fun of me for just being myself and trying to mind my own business. What, have you looked in a mirror? Tell me again about respect after calling all of my interests immature. You can't Please stop. Please. You don't mean all the things you're saying right now. Let's just be friends. I didn't mean for this to happen. Well, it did. So please don't invite yourself and try to solve other people's problems next time, okay? Yuri's piercing words send the club room into a choked silence as she gathers her things. Man, this club really needs to work on some stuff. She leaves. Holy crap. I've never heard her sound like that before. She must be so pissed. Well, you weren't very nice either, so... I was just saying. How did this happen? It's my fault. Yuri wasn't wrong. I should have tried to moderate a conflict when I know how bad I am at dealing with conflicts. It was a really stupid thing for me to do. It's nobody's fault and I wasn't stupid. Everyone in the club is a nice person. Nobody would have expected this. But I guess we're sensitive about the things we really love. Honestly, she kind of brought it upon herself. Like I said, I don't care if you're not into manga, but if you actually look down on other people for it, that's kind of the point I was trying to make in the first place. It's not about the sugarcoating things, it's about recognizing and understanding our differences. Okay, but here's the thing about that. Yuri actually looks down on me. It has nothing to do with her word choice or anything like that. So I see what you were trying to do, but I really think the problem here is her, not just like the way we talk to each other, right? I mean, Yuri isn't like that. She's a lot sweeter than you giving her credit for. I'm sure she'll be reflecting on this. I actually think everyone should. Oh, it'll be fine. I'll figure something out. Wow, I'm just like saying that instinctively. I'm just seeing myself to cause more problems. This wasn't your fault, Monika. You don't have to beat yourself up over it. If you ask me, oh, because I can just move on now. But, it's fine, I promise. Let's just get this off our mind, okay? In fact, it's a good opportunity to read some manga without having to worry about feeding Yuri's superiority. Don't be mean. I'll talk or read manga, whatever you want. But don't be mean to my friends, okay? Sorry, I'm just bitter. Everything will be okay. I mean, I don't have the answers, but at least I know that we're all good people and we don't want to hurt each other. This will be a learning experience. Monika says that, but her uneasiness is given away by how much she has to force the reassuring tone in her voice. This was bound to happen eventually. Natsuki and Yuri have always engaged with each other the least out of anyone, and this is the reason. As Sayori and Natsuki proceed to distract themselves with manga, Monika sighs to herself, unable to shake her worried thoughts. Will the club really have to just come to terms with the fact that some members will be incompatible with each other? Monika desperately doesn't want to admit that, and she knows Sayori doesn't either. But for once, a solution doesn't seem to be in sight. Oh no! Oh, we got some music. Oh, whoa. What the heck? I think there we go. Now, I don't know why it's I don't know how it's even categorized. So, we got the next, and then we obviously got reflection. But look, there is a few things that the club does need to work on, especially some people. Yeah, I'm mainly talking about Yuri here. She's a bit overreacty. I mean, we've seen it in the main game that she overreacts a lot, and well, yeah. So yeah. Well then, I'm gonna end the video there. So please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next DDLC Plus video. Bye bye.